Hey, how's it going, my fellow survivors? I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. So, it's been a bit since I've uploaded a video about The Last of Us Part 2, mainly because I've already given my 2 cents on the spoilers and thought there wasn't really anything else worth talking about. And I also figured I'd leave The Last of Us Part 2 content to all the haters who can't seem to stop making videos on the game, even though they say they're not getting it and don't care about it, like the Courting, who has made around 14 or 15 videos about the game in the past week or so. It's just pretty weird to see that all these haters are more obsessed with the game than actual fans who are still excited for it. But whatever. Let them keep making their slanderous videos so they can continue to reel in all the attention and the ad revenue that they're so desperate for. But anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about a few things related to The Last of Us Part 2 that I seen on Twitter that irritated me. First is a post related to dogs being in the game. So there's this person on Twitter who posted a screenshot of a feature about dogs in The Last of Us Part 2 that he took from a promotional email he received from GameStop. Problem was, he posted the screenshot making people believe that Naughty Dog wrote it, when in reality they had nothing to do with it, which was confirmed by Arnie Meyer, the director of communications at Naughty Dog. The synopsis GameStop wrote about the dogs was that killing dogs was necessary, and that killing them would cause their owners to cry out in horror. Now, to anybody who watched the Inside the Demo video last year during Outbreak Week, you would know that yes, dogs are a new type of threat in the game, and if you kill them, their owners will react, which in my opinion is great. If I kill a person or an animal that's close to another person, I would like to see them react to it, instead of having them just go about their business as if their friend or pet wasn't just murdered in front of them. I mean, it makes sense for this type of game and the direction they're going with it. What GameStop got wrong, though, was saying killing them was necessary. Neil Druckmann already confirmed last year you don't have to kill a single dog in the game if you don't want to. You can take out all the humans and leave the dogs alive, or just sneak through levels without murdering anyone or anything if you're stealthy enough. Plus, Naughty Dog didn't promote the dogs as a main feature like GameStop is doing in the email. But, regardless of the facts, that tweet caused some backlash, and there were even developers from other companies throwing shade at Naughty Dog, including a couple of Obsidian devs. Now, Obsidian has made some violent video games themselves where you murder people and animals, including Fallout New Vegas, The Outer Worlds, Pillars of Eternity, and so forth. Yeah, maybe the enemies in those games don't react realistically to seeing their friends or pets die, but you do come across animals, normal and mutated, that attack you, and you have to either kill them or run away, same as you can do in The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, dogs seem to be in just about every video game these days. Hell, I was playing GTA 5 recently and I got into a shootout in Sandy Shores, and all of a sudden 2 dogs ran up and started attacking me, so you know what I did? I shot them. And I remember Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 2 had a scene where Clementine was feeding what seemed to be a friendly dog that ended up attacking her, and she injured it and it cried and whimpered, and she had to kill it. I mean, in an apocalyptic setting like The Last of Us, vicious dogs make sense, especially ones trained to kill by a murderous militia like the WLF. I mean, I honestly can't figure out why people get so offended by virtual animal murder. They're just a bunch of pixels at the end of the day, and no actual dogs are harmed in the process of playing any video game. And like I said, the majority of games, including The Last of Us Part 2, give you a choice. You can leave all the dogs alive or slaughter them all. It's up to you, and it's really not worth bitching about. I honestly figured most people would be happy Naughty Dog finally put some naughty dogs in one of their games, but it seems they want every dog to be passive and pettable, I guess. So the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that Neil Druckmann has been receiving death threats. Now, I found this out on Twitter when Neil responded to a tweet about Ghost of Tsushima asking for an early copy. Cory Barlog of God of War fame responded under his tweet asking for an early copy too. Then Druckmann said that Cory didn't hit the necessary death threat quota. Now, it seemed like Nil was making light of a dark situation, but I mean, receiving a death threat is seriously fucked up shit. If he really is receiving death threats, I'd be scared if I was him. Not for myself, but for my family. I mean, we live in a time where it's easy for psychos to find your address, which is how all of these streamers and YouTubers keep getting swatted. Even after somebody was actually killed during a SWAT, and even after people have gone to prison for doing it, idiots are still putting others' lives at risk for their own entertainment and because they're mad over something petty. And if you're one of those sickos who have sent death threats or even wished death on Nil because of a decision he made in the story of a video game filled with fictional characters, you are a certified nut job and should check yourself into the nearest mental facility as soon as possible. Because we don't need lunatics like you out in the real world. I mean, the world is dangerous enough. I mean, it's okay to be mad and disappointed at The Last of Us Part 2. I was disappointed after seeing the spoilers, but I've gotten over it, and I've gotten used to the idea of what happens happening. I've prepared myself for that moment, so when I come to it in the game, it's not going to bother me as much, and I'll be able to play through it without rage quitting like most people who haven't seen the spoilers will most likely do in June. And I understand we have an emotional attachment to these characters, some more than most, like this weirdo named Jody's Corner, who said he made plans for Ellie and wanted her to be straight, to get married to a guy, have kids, and live happily ever after. Now, that's something I don't think any of us Last of Us fans thought of. And I just thought that was pretty weird when I heard that guy say that. But yeah, we all had ideas in our minds of what we expected to happen, and seeing something totally different occur will affect you mentally and emotionally. But at the end of the day, it's just a video game. It's not changing anything in our reality. Now, I know video games are a form of escapism, and we play them to get away from the stress and misery of our real lives, but let's be honest, The Last of Us isn't one of those games you play to escape your own misery, because there's so much emotional shit that happens in that game that it's just going to end up making you more miserable. It's one of those rare games where you should probably be in a decent headspace before you play it. But like I said, it's fine to be mad at Nil. But if you wish death on him, knowing he has a wife and kids, you're a sick fuck, and I genuinely think you should seek counseling. I mean, there are people out there who get so attached to fictional characters that if something happens to them in their mind, I mean, they think it happens in reality, and they lose it. I mean, I remember after Negan killed Abraham and Glenn in The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan said he was receiving death threats by crazed fans. In their minds, Jeffrey was actually Negan, and they hated him because of it. People really need to learn to separate fiction from reality, and they need to learn that not everything is going to go their way or be perfect. I mean, the first Last of Us had moments I didn't like, but I still consider it a masterpiece. Breaking Bad and Dexter both had moments I didn't like, and one had a bad final season, but I still consider those masterpieces. Movies, shows, books, and video games can all have story beats that we don't like or agree with, but they can still be great overall. Which is why I'm still optimistic about The Last of Us Part 2, regardless of the spoilers and regardless of the hate. Now, yeah, there's still a high probability a lot of people are going to dislike the game, but it's cool because there's still Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, Viking Fantasy, and numerous other games releasing by the end of the year to look forward to. So you will end up finding a game that you like by the end of this year, guaranteed. So there's no need to continue to rage and do stupid psychotic crap over one game whose story you don't like. Now that we're on the topic of people getting emotional over a game, I want to speak on a YouTuber named Tajay. He's a Last of Us only content creator, and he made a trailer reaction video recently where he cried during it, and I thought it was great. I enjoy seeing people get emotional over something they're passionate about. There's nothing wrong with that. My one thought, though, is I wonder what his reaction is going to be when he sees what actually happens in the game. If the trailer brings him to tears, I feel like what happens will probably cause him to have a mental breakdown or something. I mean, hell, when I watched the full spoiler cutscene, I'm not gonna lie, it brought tears to my eyes, and I felt kind of fucked up afterwards. So I can only imagine how he'll react and other fans who haven't seen the spoilers yet. But yeah, I can't wait to watch his playthrough when he gets to that moment. Outside of that spoiler moment, I'm sure there will be other parts of the game that will get me emotional and cause me to cry, and I'm ready for it. I am ready to be miserable and feel things again. But yeah, what do you guys think about the dog drama, and what do you think about Neil Druckmann receiving death threats? Let me know, and we'll continue the conversation below. And have a good day or night, depending on when you're watching this, and stay safe. COVID is still a threat in them streets, yo.